Imagine waking up one morning, feeling an immense, crushing weight pressing down on you. It's not a dream. You try to stand, but your legs buckle. Every object in your room, every piece of furniture, even the air itself, feels impossibly heavy. This isn't a nightmare. It's a new reality. What if, in an instant, Earth's gravity doubled? This single, terrifying change would unleash a cascade of catastrophic events, starting with our own bodies. The average person would suddenly weigh between 300 and 400 pounds. Our skeletons, evolved for 1G, wouldn't stand a chance. Widespread bone fractures would be immediate. Our hearts, now forced to pump blood twice as thick feeling against twice the force, would be under unimaginable strain. Massive heart failure would become the leading cause of death within minutes. Even breathing would become a Herculean task, as our respiratory muscles struggle to lift our now incredibly heavy. For most people, the first few minutes would be their last. Those who miraculously survive the initial shock would face a grim existence. Walking would be like carrying another person on your shoulders constantly. Every movement would be a painful, exhausting effort. Our bodies would try to adapt, with bones and muscles becoming denser over generations. But the immediate human cost would be astronomical. The world's population would be decimated in a matter of hours. But the horror doesn't stop with our bodies. Look around you. The buildings we live and work in, the bridges we cross. The entire infrastructure of our civilization was designed for our current gravity. Suddenly, every structure is bearing twice the load it was engineered for. Skyscrapers would groan under their own doubled weight, their foundations cracking, their support beams bending. One by one, they would collapse into mountains of rubble, creating citywide dust clouds that would choke the sky. Bridges would sag and then snap, plunging into the rivers below. Dams holding back immense reservoirs of water would breach, unleashing biblical floods that would wipe out everything in their path. Our world, built over centuries, would crumble in days. Transportation would cease to exist. Airplanes, now far too heavy to generate enough lift, would literally fall from the sky. Cars and trains would be pinned to the ground, their suspensions shattered, their tires flattened. We would be trapped, isolated in a world that is actively trying to crush us. The planet itself would begin to transform. The atmosphere, now pulled more tightly to the surface, would become denser. This would drastically increase air pressure, making it feel like we're living deep underwater. This pressure change would also have a bizarre effect on weather. Storms would become unimaginably violent. Rain would fall not as drops, but as powerful, stinging pellets, hitting the ground with the force of small stones. The denser air would also trap more heat, causing global temperatures to soar, turning our already chaotic world into a pressure cooker. The very ground beneath our feet would react. The increased gravitational pull on the Earth's crust would trigger unprecedented geological activity. Earthquakes of a magnitude we've never witnessed would rock the planet, tearing continents apart. Dormant volcanoes would awaken in fiery fury, spewing ash and lava, further polluting the dense, suffocating atmosphere. The entire surface of our world would be a churning, unstable hellscape. And what about our celestial neighbors? The moon, our silent companion, is held in orbit by a delicate balance with Earth's gravity. If that gravity doubled, the moon's orbit would decay. It would be pulled closer and closer to us. Initially, this would cause extreme tides, with massive tsunamis scouring coastlines clean across the globe. But eventually, the moon would reach the Roche-Lemaitre point at which Earth's gravitational pull becomes stronger than the moon's own gravitational integrity. At that point, our moon would be torn apart, creating a spectacular but deadly ring of rocky debris around the Earth. Much like Saturn, this new ring would constantly rain down meteorites, turning the surface into a perpetual shooting gallery. Even our planet's journey through space would be altered. The Earth's orbit around the sun would change. Pulled into a closer, faster orbit, our year would shorten. The seasons would be thrown into chaos, and our proximity to the sun would increase the already scorching temperatures. Our once perfect Goldilocks planet would become a fiery, inhospitable rock. Life that survived the initial chaos would face a brutal struggle. Plants would have the most difficult time. Trees would collapse under their own weight. their branches snapping. Smaller plants would be crushed, unable to grow upwards against the immense pull. Photosynthesis would be severely hampered by the thick, dusty atmosphere, starving the base of the food chain. Animals would fare no better. Flying insects and birds would be grounded forever. Large land animals would suffer the same fate as humans, their skeletons breaking. Only the smallest, stockiest, and most resilient creatures, perhaps certain insects or burrowing animals, might have a chance to adapt over millennia. The oceans, while offering some buoyancy, would become a crushing abyss as the water pressure at every depth doubles. In this new 2G world, any surviving humans would be forced to live a primitive, subterranean existence. We would become creatures of the dark, burrowing into the ground to escape the falling debris, the violent weather, and the crushing force that rules the surface. Our civilization, our art, our history, all of it, would be a buried memory under layers of dust and destruction. We would be a species reset, struggling not for progress, but for mere survival in a world that is fundamentally alien and hostile. It's a terrifying thought experiment, a reminder of the delicate and precise balance of forces that make our existence possible. Every law of physics, every constant of the universe, is a thread in the fabric of reality. Tweak just one, and the entire tapestry unravels. But this leads to a mind-bending question. We've explored what happens if gravity gets stronger, but what if the opposite is true? What if the force holding us to this planet is slowly, imperceptibly, getting weaker? Could a gradual decrease in gravity have consequences just as strange and profound, transforming our world and our very biology over eons? And is there any evidence that something like this might already be happening? That's a story for another time.